Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for June 5th through the 11th, 2017. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and to align ourselves with the frequency of our higher consciousness and the angels, God and the angels. I like to call them the agents of light and love that exist in the universe to support us. So, as you're just tuning into your I am presence, allow yourself to be connected to all the love and all the support that is with you, within you, and surrounding you throughout in every aspect of your life. And we're connecting in with that eternal love. It's like a broadband internet connection, but it's on a universal scale. And as we're tuning in to the energy for this week, there's something, they just wrote the word school coming up for someone, or several of you, having to do with school and being, for some of you, they're writing off. So it's sort of like some of you are now, you're done with school. And they wrote the word lab as if you're looking for some other kind of work, or been praying for some work or the off time. And for some of you, they're indicating, as they're showing me a tortoise, that for some of you, it's a good time for you to think about going on a retreat. For some of you, you know, that it may be a good time for you to just look for some other kind of work, something that you love, something that's centered around your purpose. But some of you need time for retreat. And if you've been getting guidance about that, they want you to know that this is a message from your angels. I want to read to you from the Angel Numbers 101, a number they were showing me as they're now reminding me of it, the Angel 567. And I don't know if you have Doreen Virtue's Angel Numbers 101, but if you've been ever finding yourself seeing number sequences, you may want to pick up this book, Angel Numbers 101. Okay, there's another one out there. I don't know if it's still in print. It was the first one, but this is the most recent one. The number says, the changes that you're making or considering are good ideas and will help you ease the stress in your life. So one of the things that right away is that the ideas that you've been getting, like to sort of pursue some changes or some ideas, they're coming from your angels and they're really good. And they want you to know they're also lovingly, okay, so they're writing lovingly judge. They're not judging some of your choices. And some of you feel like that your plans or your strategies are, you're constantly scrutinizing yourself. And I feel as though you're doing this as if God may have an issue, or you're not following the plan that God has for you to the letter. And you become very frantic about these kind of things, or you obsess over it, wondering. And what it ends up doing is it causes you to become like sort of very afraid, almost like frozen, where you just, instead of doing anything, you just keep waiting, or you keep stalling, so there's a better word, because you're just trying to make sure that you're doing it just right. And remember that their purpose, God's will for you is love. That's what God is, and how He expresses it in all many ways. The whole thing is for you, God's will for you is the experience of love, is the best way to put it. And so, whatever makes you happy, go for it. Release. They just wrote out the word release. They want you to release this, release these ideas about getting it right. Getting it right, or getting stuck, and worrying about making a mistake. Okay, this is a little bit impossible because there's always opportunities. Every decision you're going to make there are always going to be more opportunities, meaning there's going to be more choices for you to make once you make your decision. So don't think about them. Start taking action on them. Okay. Again, a reminder that word faith, scripture, faith without works, okay, is dead. So begin action, take action, then be open to the new choices that you have from there. It's not about trying to get it right according to some divine plan, when the divine plan is just for you to experience love. So if you're not getting this yet, you have free will to carry out God's plan for you, which is, say it with me, to experience love in all of its forms, every aspect of creation, everywhere you look, everything you hear, see. And I know you're going to say, oh, but that's not true because I see bad things and I hear it, but we have choices. And beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. And you can focus, you can take your love. Your love is never taken from you. You're given this love to use to help expand the experience of love. So if it was all perfect, what would you be here to do? Like, have you ever thought about how you would feel if you had nothing to do here? If everything was completely fixed and perfect, you would have nothing to do. And then how would you feel? Because this creator energy flows through you, and when it flows through you and you do nothing with it already, it makes you feel restless. That's what makes you feel like restless and anxious and frustrated. Those energies that you experience as your woes are coming from the fact that you are not seeing the choices that are allowing you to express and experience love and to receive it. And that's the only reason that you lose the inner contentment of alignment. The inner contentment of alignment is always present. But if you don't carry it out in the way that it's meant to be expressed, then it has to shift into something else because it's going somewhere, because energy does not stop. It's not blocked. It appears to us in that way. But don't you know, like when you say, well, I must be blocking myself because I'm not getting my prayers aren't being answered, and I'm experiencing all this other stuff. Well, that's what it is. The other stuff is the energy that is always moving. There's always going to be movement. So it's either going to be what you follow your path, follow your bliss, or you're going to create the other. There's just no blocking. So you're always getting something. And the thing about it is that what you want to do is stop halting that alignment when it comes to you by analyzing it, by judging it, and by creating these ideas that of imperfection and that you could get it wrong if you go with this. So if you let that go, and just let that way. That's an interesting expression. Yeah, let that way. Let things have their way. Let the ideas that come to you, or the creativity, or the love that comes to you, let it have its way. Let that way. Let it have a way. And then hop on. Pursue it. Follow it. Dance within it. Go with it. Like today, that we're using the fairy tarot cards, and I had no idea that was going to happen. I was in the middle of meditating, and they were like, the fairy cards wanted to be used from this point on until whenever, and I just went with it. You know, when you're working with a deck, you're comfortable with it for a while, and it's like all of a sudden to switch, but you have to trust the infinite wisdom of, you know, your higher self, and knowing what is best. And so instead of questioning, I just immediately went with it. Most times, I must admit, I would have questioned it, but it's just because it's a habit. It's a habit. So try to break this habit of you always questioning your guidance. And you know what I'm talking about. You see something, you go, did you mean that? I wonder what that means. That kind of stuff. Get rid of the questions and just accept it and see what happens. Be curious. Shift it into curiosity. Even if you don't understand, take the plunge, and just for curiosity's sake. So, for those of you who are like with this things with the school, like this decision over the summer, just go with what you've received. See what happens. Okay? Let's tune in and see what else they're kind of showing us for. So for some of you, they're showing me that there's something, I don't know, I feel like the things that you've been reading, because they're showing me a book, and then they're showing me my symbol for vulnerability is when I see a naked behind. And the book, the behind is turning back and forth, you know, going blurring between the book and the behind. So what this means to me is that there's something that you're reading that's causing you to be in a vulnerable place. And I'm going to take the sense I'm getting from this is that it has to do with things in the media. That you are, you know, absorbing, taking in. I also want to caution you about things. I get a sense of things coming, maybe in the mail, that you may find a little bit alarming at first, as if, you know, maybe it's about a bill or something. And don't jump to conclusions. Okay, don't assume that this is the worst is about to happen. They want you to know that they keep showing me a bow, which is my symbol for something rewarding. So somehow there's an opportunity that may come to you, but you may take it the wrong way. And I don't know how that could be in this with what they're showing me. But just they want you to take a careful look. Okay, they're sort of showing me a telescope. They want you to look at a distance. Distance yourself a bit and kind of look at the long range benefits of this situation that may present itself to you. Okay, so they don't want you to be short-sighted in this case, but they want you to use foresight as instead. All right. All right. Let's take a look at the theme for the week: the Archangel Oracle card by Doreen Virtue. And well, that's a great message. I can really feel that is right on the heels of what we were saying. All is well, Archangel Jeremiel. And this card gives me a sense that no matter what you hear, no matter what you see, no matter what you read, everything's gonna work out. Okay. This also gives me a sense of some of the decisions that you're making or that you're going to choose. This confirms that those decisions are going to work out well for you. The card says everything is everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings you will soon understand. Let me just see if I can get that to clarify. Okay, so that means there are hidden blessings in the situations that are coming up. So don't get upset with what's happening on the surface. Okay, they're writing out that there's a divine. They wrote the word holy. There's a divine arrangement going on here. So the universe is working this out, but you know they got to bring up all the stuff first so it's like it's not that, like they're bringing it up like for you to be afraid of, but think of somebody's throwing out the junk and you're standing there like, what are you doing? And stuff is flying at you and you like see like what up, that made some of this stuff. And I'm not saying it's bad news. I'm thinking of it more as like things that you don't want to let go of, and they're just like tossing it, and you're panicking like, I know I want that. Don't get rid of that. So just know that they're getting to something. There's something you aren't seeing, and there's something that you might overlook. So they want you to trust them and just let those things go. Okay? They're writing out that there's no punishment involved here. So you may think that something's happening because of something you did. You have to let that go. That's not it at all. They're just clearing your path. Okay? And that means the stuff that you didn't want to get rid of, either because you were ashamed to get rid of it or to look at it again, or something you couldn't confront, and they're just drawing it out so that and moving it out. They're drawing it out and then they're going to move it out. So you stay put. Okay? Meaning don't just stand there, but they mean for you to let it happen, and then when the clarity comes to you, that's when you act. Always act on inspired guidance. So I always say follow the inspired action steps. The universe is never telling you to do nothing. But most of the times you think you're doing something and you're really not, because what you're following is you're trying to it's motivated by your fears. That's not divine guidance. You want to always act from inspiration. Take those inspired action steps. That means so that you're obviously in that moment in the receptive mode. So you are listening, and those actions you should follow. So let's just say if I had given you a reading, and you may hear this type of reading where they say, all right, this is the time for you to do nothing because blah 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 blah. Maybe it's retrograde or whatever. But when you receive inspired action steps, those are the ones you're supposed to follow. There's just a way of saying to slow down so that you start listening to what's in alignment and has integrity that matches the value of your truth. That's what they're really talking about. They're telling you to sit and do nothing, but they just want you to pay attention and follow what's coming from your inner being. All right, and its integrity, the integrity of your soul is what that really, really means. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. Oops. I'm having trouble picking that up. And let's take a look at the first card that begins the week and see what is occurring for us in this week. So we have the 9 of Spring, and this tarot uses the seasons for the suits. So spring is wands, and you can tell by the color. And the 9 of Spring, this makes a lot of sense because this has to do, for me, this card is about, protecting. You're trying to protect your what you have. You're trying to protect your. I'm getting this idea of protecting your investments or protecting something you've worked very hard for. Something, and what it is that in protecting it, you are preventing it from growing. You're preventing it. You think you're protecting it so that it won't be, let's say, taken away from you, or that it won't be somehow watered down in some way. But what's actually happening right now is that there's an opportunity coming that is going to allow it to expand. And so don't put your guard up so that things can't grow, is what I'm really strongly getting about this card. And I'm sensing it has something to do with yourself. Don't protect yourself. Don't protect your. I feel like there's something like you want to do, like a dream or some project or something that you want to do, and you are afraid of something shifting within you or your work. You're feeling like you're going to do something. If you do this, how are you going to get back to what you thought or you believe is where you're supposed to be? Because you got this whole idea of what's right and what's wrong. And so the thing is that, remember, you're here to experience love. So whatever allows you to do that, and I feel like that you're going to be really happy doing this. It's something else that you've thought about doing and maybe wanted to do, but you're so focused right now, you're thinking to yourself, but I can't get off track because I'll lose this. And it's not about losing anything, and it's not about gaining anything. It's about experiencing love. That's what you're here for. So if this opportunity presents itself, don't protect the things, okay? Experience the love. And the things that you need to prosper will be there for you. The fortune. Okay, they're writing that word out. It'll be there for you. So we know you want to experience success because this is what our world is programmed. But it's the idea of what that success really is that we need to shift. And when you're successful, it's because you're experiencing love. You're expressing it and you're receiving it. That's what makes you successful. That experience is what will continuously attract, as they're writing out to me, the word prosperity for you. That experience, as they're writing out the word augment, will continue to increase material prosperity for you. So if you're going to lock into something, lock into that. Don't lock on or latch on to things and try to protect them, or situations. Don't try to protect them. Not even relationships. If it compromises the experience of love for you. Because if you compromise the experience of love for yourself, you compromise the experience of love for all those other things and situations and relationships that you're trying to protect. Okay? It's just as simple as that. So it says, protect the fruits of your labors. Prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation. So in this way, you will do it, but through the experience of love. Okay? You will expand what you've done. You won't lose anything. But if you're worried about the things before you worry about the experience, okay, of love. Let's take a look at the middle card for the middle of the week. And we have the Princess of Autumn, which is representing Pentacles here in this week's reading. And so this makes sense because I had this sense of something to do with, not wanting to get off track with something in career, your work, or something to do with material possessions. And so the princess is usually the page, and this represents some new opportunity, all right, something new that's coming up for you. So getting a sense of it being like a new job, something that's going to allow you to earn income. And that's why that message from them again was that this was not to try to do that. Let me read it to you again. Which it says, the changes that you're making or considering are good ideas and will help you ease the stress in your life. And I really felt that they were referring to something financial, because unfortunately that is a huge part of our angst, is having enough. And so this change, that they don't want you to feel like you got to protect yourself from it. this thing is actually going to begin, as this card represents, give you a new beginning, give you a new start, help ease up your burden. Maybe for some of you, I'm getting a sense that this is something maybe part time, or it just may be a temporary thing just to help to support some things, other bigger, larger projects that you're working on. That it's better for you to have something in this case to take your mind off of the stress of money so you can really enjoy the experience of love, that of whatever it is that you're working on, if it's a book you're writing, or if it's some kind of new business idea you want to get started on the side, and having this will allow you to do that. Or if it's, you're an actor or a performing artist, as I saw performers just a few minutes ago, and it reminded me of that, and you just need some stability so that you can, practice something part-time on the side. So don't don't think of this as it's going to take you off track and you're never going to have what you truly desire. Okay? But remember, your first goal is to align with the experience of love. And whatever eases your mind so that you can enjoy the things that you care about and you're passionate about, that's what's sound and practical advice, which is what the Suit of Pentacles would always offer you, and the page is offering you here. Okay, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. And see here, the Empress. And all about creativity for the weekend here, and channeling that creativity. So when the Empress is the creative ideas, that this abundance of ideas flowing for you, solutions unfolding for you. And what I get a sense is that, just talking the story out here for a minute, and all is well, is that when you will eventually see that this is going to create a lot of affluence for you. Not only physical, material needs and resources, but it's going to bring you the success you were looking for. It's going to bring you the expansion that you were seeking originally. And now you will be able to have it. And you'll be able to begin to implement this. So they want you to really tune in to ideas that come to you over the weekend, I feel like a sense of a great time to work on projects, and to sort of, as things are coming to you, just work in that sort of intuitive creative flow. So, sometimes what happens for me is when I'm practicing, just to give you an example, singing, all of a sudden an idea will come to me, a new exercise, not something that I just run all the time, but things that just come to me out of nowhere. And when I try them and go, it's just like, it helps to advance me in ways that I just couldn't have done if I had just tried to keep working a particular exercise, trying to reach some goal without knowing, trying something different that may help me achieve the goal I'm seeking. So it's that difference between, not following inspired guidance versus, inspired action. So be open to the ideas, the opportunities. I'm getting a sense of opportunities. You may discover some opportunities. Be open to them, and know that they're going to help you. Don't put up your guard, okay, and fear that you're maybe somehow going to make a mistake, okay? This card too makes me feel like some people have the tendency to put their backs up against the wall, and they have a hard time trusting the world because they've been through so much negative experiences that they don't know how to forgive the experience, the circumstances around the experience, and take from the experience what they learned. But they usually, when they say they learned something, they learn the pain, and when they learn it and they keep holding it up in front of them over and over and over again. And you know, traditionally you see this wounded soldier, and it's kind of like the same idea. You're like this the wounded victim, and you kind of live from this place as a victim, and they want you to let that go because that's not helping you. It's only attracting the disparity and um, the the challenges that you're experiencing. So they really want you to release them, okay, and be open. Let's take a look at the card from the bottom of the deck, and this represents what's happening underneath the surface, why things are occurring the way they are, and what is the universe, and what is happening, what is your higher self helping to shift for you. And this is usually the card Temperance, and it's titled here Balance. So basically, there is this sort of, I feel like it's like a little slight shifting here, where things are just sort of coming into balance, and it's so that, or a better word I'm feeling is alignment here. So don't challenge what's going on. You may have to you may feel like you're compromising your your plans or your goals or what you believe was meant for you. But we want you to open up yourself a little bit wider, open up your heart a little bit wider, so you can experience the alchemy of love in a bigger picture, if you will. And know that when you really open yourself up to that level, there are no rules, truly, except love. We can't put love into a particular form. It doesn't have a form. It is the creator of the form. It inspires form, but it can't be locked into our labels, into our our different identities. It just doesn't work. And when you try to do this, you throw things off balance. And so that's why this clearing that I feel like that's going to happen, where things that you didn't expect, like the outcomes. I feel like there are going to be these outcomes that you just weren't expecting, and you're going to just see things, and you're going to be like, whoa, what's going on? Because things are having to be rebalanced for you so that you understand how powerful and how sacred love is, yet how pure and simple. And so when you open up your heart and you put your plans and your ideas in that not void, but that infinite, spaceless, formless frequency, you'll see just how many, there's a sense like you just see all these lights just light up in infinite directions, because they represent all the choices and possibilities. If love is anything, it's possibilities, opportunities. And that it's about choosing the one that represents the highest ideals or highest potential for you, the highest good for you. So let yourself go, and don't feel that you're being compromised, or that that you're losing control. I think of this card as also like an alchemist, and you want to use the right formula, and when you can't, you feel like you're out of control. Don't feel like you're getting the formula wrong. You're for the first time, you're on the path to seeing it for what it really is. That the formula that God has put into place for you, called the divine plan, is just to experience love. And that this is actually very simple for you to live your life, and a simple way to live your life, and to be always able to sense the success that's meant for you. Meaning the success that you can find everywhere, all the time, because love is everywhere, happening all the time, always flowing. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and thank you for joining us here for this week's video, and for sharing the video with your friends, for subscribing if you haven't already, so you'll be aware when the videos come out. And if you haven't joined us for the daily card messages on our Facebook page, then feel free to do that. Monday through Friday, you can click on the link below this video. If you're looking for an angel reading, you can find me at theangelschool.com, which is, the link is below, and on the service page. And my office hours are from Monday through Friday. I usually send you an email within 24 hours confirming your appointment. If you don't get it, then check your spam, please. Unfortunately, I cannot take phone calls to set up appointments. I don't do that. I meditate. I schedule them in the order that I receive them. So if I have a bunch of them already, I can't just give you an appointment. So please don't call for appointments, but respond to the email. I appreciate that very much. If you're having a problem with that, then you have to, make me aware of that, and so that you can find the email. But otherwise, please communicate through email if you need to reach me. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and wish you the best in this week. And we pray that for your clarity and your inner peace, and that you are able to honor the love that is expressing itself through you right now. God bless you all.